For those of you just joining us here, we do have a live game between the Tottenham Rattlers and the home Bradford Rattlers. There was a power interruption, I believe because of the snowstorm here in Bradford, West Gwillimbury, that decided to shut off all of the audio and our internets here. But we do have it now up and running, so we are good to go. As Carlson takes a hard hit on the sidewall there, penalty is called, and it looks like number 4 is going to be heading to the box for the Railers. And so Doyle will be heading to the box. I don't know if the call is tripping. We're going to get that call in a second. It will be tripping, yes. So for those of you still just joining us now, we had a power interruption. That's why we had no live stream for the first 3.5 minutes of this game. It's 16:28 left as the Rattlers head to their first power play of the game now. And draw one back by Bolotov. Orahov fires it towards the net. It's going to go just wide. Played in by Serev. Serev in the corner working it now. Leaves it for Bolotov back on the wall. Bolotov trying to work his way down low. Fires it to the middle, almost out of the zone, but Orahov manages to hold it before it goes on to the stick of the newly signed Jonathan Venos, returning defenseman and champion from last year. The Bradford Rattlers making his debut tonight against the Tottenham Railers. Wearing number 10, his familiar 13 being worn by Oliver Koch so far this year. Bolotov finds Serev there on the half wall. Serev turns and looks towards the middle of the net where Majorsic is unable to get a shot off, but he does fight for that puck. Eventually, Parody sends it towards the blue line, but Orahov holds it, sees Serev. Serev unable to handle it cleanly, so he'll go into the corner as well. Look for options. We have Plotnikov joining the mix now. Plotnikov goes to Orahov. Orahov over to Jonathan Venos. Venos sends it towards the net. I remember last year, I believe he had 2 goals in his debut game of the season last year, did Jonathan Venos, as Orahov sends one wide of the net. Pucked away by Plotnikov, but Venos sends it right back down low to him. Plotnikov to Venos, who sees Orahov at the top. No shot there, he sends it to Serev on the side. Orahov maybe with a shot opportunity, sends it over to Venos. He does score. And so the opening goal of this one is scored by Jonathan Venos. Same as how our season started last year. In his first game as a Rattler last year, he scored the opening goal. In his first game as a Rattler this year, he scores the opening goal, does number 10, Jonathan Venos. Returning from playing professionally over in Norway. Opportunity here to develop under the school of David Mooney and Jack Edmonds here. Has DeBrecke on the draw now. He's going to lose that one. Jib is back out there. And Sykes is going to hold the line now for the Bradford Rattlers. Ovakimian steps up to the red line. He is going to take that puck and work it towards his partner, Yanis Sykes. Sykes puts it to the middle where DeBrecke's waiting. DeBrecke, Plotnikov, and Carlson, that top line for the Bradford Rattlers, the starters for the Rattlers tonight, out on the ice. As the puck gets sent towards the end, icing's going to be waved off, so Carlson's going to play it up through the middle now. Has a chance to work with speed, gain that zone, and he does. Quick little nifty move in the corner there. Gets sealed off behind the net, does Isak Carlson. Rattlers still maintain possession. Carlson sends it towards Bolotov now, who's waiting in front of the net. Once again tries to find Bolotov, but Bolotov was working his way towards the back on the help side. Boravsky now gives it to Jonte Venos. Venos to Bolotov. Bolotov, Majorsic. Majorsic has Holander with him. Will he shoot? Just misses wide. Netminders tonight. Miller, Radchenko. A couple of players been asked to play some big games for their teams. Radchenko just joined the Rattlers in the last couple of weeks. Miller and Nikulin have been sharing the starting duties for the Tottenham Rattlers so far this season. Holander sends it back down low. Bolotov chasing. And a great attempt there by Royer, but the Rattlers will send it deep. Bolotov's going to chase behind Miller. Parody has a play, sends it over to River. River to Vailleux. Turnover forced in the corner there, just out of my eyesight, so I can't see who exactly has it, but Oliver Koch is waiting for that puck to come out, and he does make a play on it. Parody sends away Koch, using his strength there in the corner, and then sends it back towards the Rattlers side of the ice. It's going to be pursued now. Number 90 with a great turnover. That's the captain, Tig Frazee. And Vailleux now, still pursuing on Roman Orahov. Orahov goes over to Arseny Ovakimian. Royer with a shot on Radchenko, who makes the save from down low. Tottenham looking to work it back into the zone now. Ovakimian seals that off at the blue line. Mega Mizagov back into the game now. His first game back in the last few. Was sitting out a couple after an incident in Ville-Marie. And now Royer sends it all the way down. Frazee almost has a play on it, but that's going to be an icing call. And now a face-off here. Krudikov, this newly formed line on the weekend of Krudikov centering the wingers of Serev and Mamedov. Mamedov was freewheeling with a couple of goals this weekend from that wing spot. Had a good snipe, pair of goals in the game against West Nipissing on Friday. And then also scored the sealing goal, number 4, last night in the Rattlers 4-2 win against the Ville-Marie Pirates. So 9 of the Rattlers' 12 goals this season came from Mamedov and Carlson. Carlson with 7 over the course of the weekend so far. Rattlers currently riding an 11-game win streak. Tottenham looking to stop that streak and keep one going of their own as they look for win number 3 in a row now. Winning yesterday against St. George. Serev gains the zone. He's got Mamedov working towards the middle. Sends it there, but Miller's going to smartly paddle that and then cover it. Yenry Jib coming off the ice now, not going to be taking that draw. Debrecki back to Berezin. Berezin sends it back down low for Carlson, who's going to look to work his way around the half wall, but unable to make it to the middle. Shut down by the Tottenham Railers defenseman there, River. Heward and River working to get it out of the zone. Going to be pursued down the ice by Pluck. Plotnikov puts it off the feet of Heward. It comes right to Seitz, who gets it back to Plotnikov now, able to gain the zone. Carlson just allows the puck to come right to him. Seitz tries to send it back down low to Carlson. It bounces towards him. Seitz now picks it up, shoots towards the net. It's loose. No rebound opportunity there. Carlson now works to the middle. Debrecki with a shot. And Miller, it's right behind him. He made the first save. It was just going in behind him before one of his defensemen took that out of the net and sent it back towards the corner. As Tottenham turns to come the other way now, number 22 on the Railers gets his pocket picked by Adam Debrecki. And Mikhail Plotnikov now sends it back up to the blue line. Carlson fans on a shot, unable to get one there cleanly. And Vailleux is going to be heading to the box for a cross-check, sending the Rattlers to their second power play of the game so far. Rattlers with power play number 2 out there. Bolotov, Serev, Orahov, Venos, who scored the opening goal, and Majorsic. Roman Orahov sends it towards the net. Roman Orahov now plays it behind his own net. He's just going to allow the breakout on the power play here to develop. Some great pressure there by Frazee, forces a turnover there in the Rattlers' defensive zone. Bolotov with a errant pass there, allows Doyle to send it all the way down the length of the ice, stopped by Radchenko behind the net. Jonte Venos now going to look for options as he brings it out. Goes to his partner Orahov, who sends it right back to Venos. Venos probably going to look to gain the zone and does. Looking for a second of the night. Instead gets it to Plotnikov. Plotnikov finishes it off. Power play goal for Misha Plotnikov on the great patience and dish from Jonte Venos. 2 goals, 2 points for Jonte Venos so far in his debut game as a Bradford Rattler. If you thought Jonte Venos was a problem last season, you got something coming to you this season. Looks like a force out there on the ice as the top line for the Rattlers now on the ice once more. Plotnikov, who just had that power play goal, leaves it for Carlson. Carlson takes a look and his stick breaks in half, but DeBrecki picks it up, works his way towards the net. He's got Boravsky up on the half wall. Instead goes down low to Plotnikov. Plotnikov gets tripped up, but no call on the play. DeBrecki now works it towards Arsenio Vakimian. Carlson now out there with a fresh stick. Carlson gives it to Plotnikov, who's got DeBrecki right behind him, and he drops it to him. DeBrecki now finds Plotnikov in front. Great save there made by Cameron Miller. With an opportunity now as they fling one towards the pad side of Nikita Radchenko. Lavoie playing the puck on the corner, but the Rattlers come away with it once more. Captain Isak Carlson has Oliver Koch in the middle, unable to get the puck past St. Laurent. St. Laurent, who you may remember in the last game of the Bradford Rattlers, was the one who had the puck and go off of him into the net in what would be a 5-goal comeback for the Bradford Rattlers after being down 4-0. Different start to this game so far in the first period as we have 7 minutes left now. Rattlers up 2-0. As players mixing it up a little bit in front of Cameron Miller. Oliver Koch on the draw now against Railers captain Tish Frazee. And TJ Frazee is going to win that. And that's going to be an offside call. Vailleux unable to handle it cleanly as he gained the zone. Bobbled it for just a second, and that was enough time for both Boyer and Frazee to head offside. Vailleux and Mega Mizagov exchanging words there as Mizagov heads back towards the bench. Vailleux, Frazee, and Boyer stay on the ice. This top line for the Tottenham Railers. Frazee sends it into the zone, going to be pursued by Vailleux. Handled by Venos, but Venos puts it right onto the stick of Tish Frazee. Venos now looking to handle it behind the net. He's got his partner Boravsky, but instead chooses to go to Gabe Mamedov. Mamedov tries to see Sarah, but sends it all the way the length of the ice, and we're going to get an icing call on the Bradford Rattlers. We are back here for the second period. We are a minute into the period, and the Tottenham Railers did score on a power play there. They still have another 30 seconds remaining. They scored on the 5-on-3 power play. Still a power play remaining for the Tottenham Railers now. And for those of you confused about what might have been happening at the beginning of the game and throughout the course of the intermission there was a power interruption because of one of the fuse boxes. And so while we might own the Wi-Fi, we do not own power transformers here. So we were just at the will of the rink waiting for them to fix it, and they did. But until then, we were just running off of a hotspot that I personally was providing. So if you're upset about that, at least you got to see something while we waited. As Radchenko sweeps it towards Orahov. Railers now off of the power play. Sergei Serov loses the puck. It's going to get played in the neutral zone by Heward. Touched up by Parody. Orahov sends it towards Serov now, who's got the puck in the zone. Serov with options, looking to go down low towards Gabriel Mamedov. Mamedov up towards Boravsky. Boravsky towards the net. And it is loose, swept away. Great play by Tottenham Railers defenseman there. That was Heward. Forward, I should say. Heward now attempting to bring it out of the zone. Jante Venas strips him of the puck and sends it towards the net. Miller with a blocker save just off the glass. Serov grabs a rebound, sends it towards the middle. Boravsky now. Great block by Heward, or by Prock. Prock down on the ice now after that block shot. He is making his way back to his feet. Krudikov down low to Boravsky. Boravsky tries to go around the defenseman there, unable to. And the Railers send it the length of the ice. Tottenham wondering if Prock can switch for an injury, which I believe he's allowed to. And Prock is allowed off the ice, even on the icing call. That's just a courtesy extended by the league. If a player does get injured on a play, the icing does not affect them. Jib comes onto the ice now with fresh legs. Jib on the face-off now against Debrecki. Won by Jib. Jobin now bringing it through the neutral zone. Sends it deep, and he's going to try and pursue. Jib on Venas. Venas just handles it. Cleanly leaves his own zone. Puts it deep for Debrecki. No ice called. Puck is loose and into the net. No goal is called on the ice. So it looks like they're going to call an icing originally from the Venas pass. So none of that was a live play after the entry into the offensive zone for the Rattlers. Which I'm not arguing with. I think that could have been an icing call as well. Looked like the pass was made just prior to the red line. One of those, no argument if it is, no argument if it isn't. Debrecki loses the face-off to Jib. Rivere now to St. Laurent. St. Laurent sends it towards the net. It's going to be blocked in front. Plotnikov now playing tough on Jib. Comes away with the puck, but puts it on the half wall where none of his teammates are. Rivera sends it down low to Jib. And Plotnikov sees Carlson, who comes into the zone with speed. It's one-on-one here. We do have a delayed call. And this is going to be a Rattlers power play now. As Rivera heads to the box, the call is going to be slashing, I believe. High sticking. Official call on the ice is going to be high sticking on number 20, Rivera. Rattlers go to the power play. Just over 16 minutes left in the second period now. 2-1 is the score. Rattlers with a pair of goals. Power play now active. Orahov on the ice. Gives it up to Boravsky. Boravsky's going to work his way in and gain the line, and does. Boravsky has Majorsic just behind him. Majorsic works his way to the front of the net. Orahov now leaves it for Boravsky. He's got Bolotov down low, Majorsic in front, and Sarev on the far side. Boravsky sends a shot, and Miller is going to cover that one up. Mamedov wins that draw, back to Venos. Venos has Debrecki with him. Power play here for the Rattlers is Venos, Carlson, Debrecki, Plotnikov. Mamedov in that bumper roll right there. He's playing net front, Debrecki moved down to the bumper spot. Debrecki, Plotnikov with a great pass to Mamedov, and that's going to be a short save by Cameron Miller. Debrecki to Carlson. Carlson's going to work his way to the middle. Looks for the tip from Plotnikov, which gets tipped right into the glove of Cameron Miller. Another great save for Cameron Miller tonight. 56 seconds remaining on this Bradford Rattlers power play, as Doyle, St. Laurent, Jib, and Vailleux come onto the ice for the Tottenham Railers. Mamedov once again on the draw. Mamedov wins it, eventually to Venos, but a great play by Jib is going to force the Rattlers to regroup in the neutral zone. They bring it all the way back to their own zone. Debrecki behind the net, leaves it for Jonte Venos. Venos with Carlson with him, gives him the puck. Carlson right back to Venos, who looks to gain the zone and does. Puts it off the wall, Mamedov handling it now. Mamedov sends it down low, where Plotnikov is unable to have a play on it as it goes into the netting. Face-off eventually comes back to Jonte Venos. Carlson gives it to Venos, who has an opportunity to take a shot. He's got Debrecki down low, Carlson down low. And Venos sends it right into the pads of Vailleux. Vailleux still skating towards that puck. Opportunity here as Jib's in front of the net. Mamedov comes all the way back to stop that opportunity shorthanded, though. Carlson now, Plotnikov joining the rush. Carlson with an opportunity. Eventually gets it to Mamedov, who has a wide open net, but just takes half a second too long. Doyle gets in front of it, makes that block. Out of the neutral zone once more. We are back to 5-on-5 action here, as Frazee strips the puck, and he's got an opportunity on Radchenko, and Radchenko with a great last-second save. Puck is loose. Radchenko's down. A couple of diving saves from Nikita Radchenko. He moves very fast. That's not going to be icing as it went off of the railers, but it is icing. Frazee, Jib, and Royer attempting to make something happen now. Rattlers so far this weekend have outscored their opponents by a score of 12-2. 8-0 on Friday against the Lynx, 4-2 against Ville Marie in Quebec last night, as they play the third game of their 3-3 here. Both of these teams won the first two games of their 3-3 this weekend. Both of them very tired. Carlson now comes in, the all-time leading scorer for the Bradford Rattlers. Loses the puck but finds his own rebound on the wall. Just trying to make something happen here as it goes into the corner, still being pursued by Carlson. The Railers get it out towards Frazee. Frazee loses the puck. Holander now gains the zone, but Carlson was still just getting up from the corner, so that's going to be offside. Orahov and Ovakimian now on the ice. Philip Holander plays it in there. Majorsic pursuing as well as Bolotov. Lavoie touches it, but Roman Orahov able to settle it down, fire it towards Bolotov, who's unable to make a pass back to one of his defensemen. Majorsic eventually puts it deep. It'll be pursued by Philip Holander on Doyle. And Holander seals Doyle off, but Doyle able to make a pass towards Belayev. Bolotov now finds it, fires it towards the net. First save made by Miller. No second opportunity there. Puck is high, eventually played by Doyle. And we have a delayed call coming on the Bradford Rattlers. Touched up by Radchenko, and that's going to be a call. Interference on number 91, Stepan Bolotov. And so with 12:11 left in the second period, the Railers are going to be heading to a power play. Power play out there right now is Belayev, Frazee, Jib, Royer, and Paradis. Jonte Venice sends it the length of the ice. As the Railers look to regroup on this power play, Captain Tij Frazee waits behind the net for the regroup. Leaves it for Jib. Jib sends it ahead to Royer. They gain the zone. Venos and DeBrecki come right down on him. Venos forces a turnover, and he's going to backhand it the length of the ice. Rattlers tonight without Matt Munich serving a suspension, but Jonte Venos in his first game is making quite an impact. As Belayev takes a far stretch pass and has an opportunity on Radchenko. Radchenko makes the save. Pass comes back out in front to Jib. And the turnover gets forced by DeBrecki. DeBrecki and Carlson, the two leading shorthanded scorers in the league. And Cameron Miller makes a great save there as DeBrecki put it towards the front of the net for Carlson. Frazee comes the other way. He's got Jib, he's got Royer. Jib gets a shot blocked by Elvat Kimian, but Alexei Paradis picks it up and sends it towards the back of the net. Just over the shoulder of Nikita Radchenko, who made the initial. Unable to make that shot. Second save. As we are now tied at 2 here in Bradford. Alexei Paradis ties it up for the Tottenham Railers. Krudikov wins that one back. Yanis Seitz being pursued by Vincent. Sergei Serov sends it towards the middle for Mamedov. Mamedov chops at it. So St. Laurent and Krudikov now. Krudikov comes away with it, puts it short side on Cameron Miller, who makes that stop. We are just about at the halfway point of this game and this period. As Frazee, Vailleux, and Royer come onto the ice once again for the Tottenham Railers, while Orhov and Obakimian will now patrol the blue line for the Bradford Rattlers. Frazee eventually works his way into the face-off and wins it against Krudikov. Out of the zone, Obakimian is going to try and have a play on it, but instead Jib gives it to Vailleux. Vailleux with a shot and scores! And Vailleux, just with that one shot, puts the Tottenham Railers now up 3-2 here in Bradford against the Rattlers. Jonte Venos now playing it in the corner, gets it to his partner Boravsky. Boravsky sends it ahead to Mega Mizakov. Samurovsky now with an opportunity as he works his way to the middle and sends a shot towards Miller. It's loose. It's still loose in front of the net. Samurovsky eventually trying to get a shot back in. Blocked by about 4 different Railers players there, who all came together to help out their goaltender Cameron Miller. Parody sends a shot that Boravsky intercepts. Boravsky comes into the zone now. He's got Samarovsky on the far side. It'll just be hit away by Parody. Frazee stretch pass to Royer. Royer inside. Radchenko makes the save and covers it up. Railers with a good play to turn it over to the other side. Lavoie now coming in with speed. Attempts to leave it, but Debrecki puts it into the neutral zone. The Railers regain possession. Jib now leaves it for Belayev. Orahov with a stick makes a great defensive play there to shut it down. Puck comes towards Radchenko. He's unable to find it. Henry Jib makes this a 4-2 game for the visiting Tottenham Railers. Majorsick and Heward on the draw. Majorsick comes away with the win. Holander attempting to put it into the zone, unable to. Yanis Seitz now sends it deep. Going to be pursued on the far side by Bolotov and the close side by Majorsick. Caleb Siran gives it to Stepan Bolotov. Bolotov gains the zone, trying to work his way in and create some offense for a Rattlers team that is now seen the Railers score 4 straight goals in the second period. Bolotov tries to stuff it in. Majorsick now with an opportunity. Miller with another great save. Bolotov sends it up to the top towards Seitz. Seitz holds the line, sends it towards the net. Bolotov there, unable to get a clean shot off. It's still a loose puck. Siran now sends it towards the net. It's going to be gloved up by Cameron Miller. Interference call on Heward. So a power play here for the Bradford Rattlers with 8:26 left in the second period. Goal here would be big. Kill here would be even bigger for the Tottenham Railers to help maintain this 4-2 lead. Debrecki unable to make a clean pass across the ice, so that's going to get picked up by Alexi Parody. Debrecki now with it in the neutral zone, comes back into his own zone, turns and gives it to Jante Venas. Venas gains the zone, waits to make the pass all the way over to Isak Karlsson. Karlsson sends it towards the net wide. Debrecki now once again coming back. He's got Karlsson on the far side looking to make that pass, and does. Karlsson touches it up, and he's going to be able to make a play, but a great stick there by Alexi Parody. Karlsson now gives it to Adam Debrecki. Debrecki coming in. Mamedov on his wing. Plotnikov in the middle. Karlsson now streaking, and he goes to Venas, the last man. Venas now with an opportunity, sends it wide and out of the zone. Debrecki regroups in the neutral zone. He'll look to turn it and gain the zone once more. Leaves it for Jante Venas. Venas to Karlsson. Karlsson jumped the zone a little bit early there, so they had to regroup. Mamedov now with it on the wall. Mamedov sends it into the shin pads of Tish Frazee. Radchenko now with a play. Dangerous looking play there, but it does get to the stick of Jante Venas. Karlsson to Plotnikov. Plotnikov with an opportunity here. It goes up high. Majorsick with it. And no team with steady possession in that sequence there, as Plotnikov eventually leaves it for Karlsson. Orahov opens up on the far side, but Karlsson goes in a little bit deeper. sees Major Sick back up to Roman Orahov to Carlson to Mamedov with a great shot but saved by Cameron Miller. Major Sick once again looking towards the middle, and Frazee with a great defensive play there as they get the fifth man out of the box. A great kill by the Tottenham Railers. Major Sick now gains the zone. He's got Serev streaking in the middle, Bolotov on the wing. Orahov holds that puck at the line. Bolotov to Major Sick, who's at the back end now. Serev with an opportunity, fans on the shot. Railers look to come the other way. Yenry Jib with a nifty move. Belayev ends up with it on his stick and puts it down low for Jib, who sends the puck towards Lavoie. Lavoie now to Jib. Jib with a shot just wide of Nikita Radchenko. Doyle holding the line there before the Rattlers eventually gain possession. Bolotov touches it up, and we'll get a change here for the Rattlers. Oliver Koch now on the ice, pursuing that first man with the puck. Orahov forces the Railers to send the puck deep. Kimion attempts to get it on the board and does. Mizagov loses it in his feet. The Railers gain the zone. Rivera to Jib. Jib with an opportunity. Radchenko thinks about playing it, but heads back to his net. Orahov seals him off in front, and Radchenko eventually gets a stoppage. Out of the zone, Plotnikov with an opportunity, eventually finds it not on his stick as Vailleur intercepts that and comes the other way. Vailleur, Royer to Frazee. Frazee takes that corner on Radchenko and makes it a 5-2 game here with 5 minutes left in the second period. We talked about how dangerous Frazee was earlier in the broadcast. And Frazee snipes one on Radchenko there to give the Railers a 3-goal lead, 5-2 here in the second period, 5 minutes left. And Vailleur now leaves it for Frazee again. Frazee once again tries to get a shot off. Radchenko was down, but a great play there by Caleb Siran. Major Sick sends it towards Bolotov, who touches it and has an opportunity to play it now. Holander is in front of the net. Bolotov. Holander now attempting to force a turnover on Parody. Holander now finds the puck. Bolotov and Holander both with the puck. Parody with it in his skate. No call yet. Referee's lifting his whistle as if he's going to call it. Nope, no call. As the puck eventually gets shot into the Rattlers bench. Mamedov, Serev, and Krudikov out there. Mamedov taking the draw from his original center spot. Orahov attempting to get this puck away from Lavoie, and Belayev does. Ovakimian finds Orahov. Sergei Serev avoids a hit there by Doyle. Mamedov attempting to influence. Tottenham still able to get it out of their zone as they come through the neutral zone. Doyle puts it deep. Belayev and Ovakimian going in on the puck together. Ovakimian able to get it out of the zone. He's got Mamedov with him. He's got Serev with him. Mamedov gains the zone, Tries to work his way on the inside and does. Tries to wrap it around, unable. Mamedov has the puck come back to him though, puts it down low towards Serev, but the Railers will clear it all the way down the length of the ice. Orahov plays it, no icing's going to be called there. Orahov now attempting to gain the zone. Samarovsky, Koch, and Mizigov, and Roman Orahov. Roman Orahov, much like Tij Frazee did, snipes one on the netminder. This time Cameron Millar, the victim. Roman Orahov's second goal of the season brings the Rattlers back to within 2 with 3 minutes left in the second period. And that line of Samarovsky, Mizigov, and Koch staying out there for now. They were just out there for the goal. Samarovsky now attempting to create, sends it towards Koch, but goes off of Koch's back. Parody now trying to get past Jante Venos. Venos strips him of the puck and puts it on the half wall, where Tottenham eventually loses possession to the Rattlers. Mega Mizigov sees Adam Samarovsky, who has some speed, able to come in, loses his footing for just a second, enough for Jobin to make a play on the puck. But the Rattlers still with possession in the zone. As Samarovsky gets tripped up on the play, the Rattlers are going to be heading to another power play. And Heward is sent to the box now, 2 minutes for tripping. Rattlers have that first power play unit out there. Carlson, Mamedov, Plotnikov, Debrecki, and the newly rejoined Jante Venos. Debrecki handles it behind the net after a clear by Royer. Venos nearly has the puck stripped by Frazee. Carlson now, they have numbers coming the other way. Frazee and Royer were both in the zone. Debrecki now has Mamedov. Mamedov, no shot, into his feet, sends it back towards the front of the net. Frazee on Jante Venos. Frazee's going to flip it up and then pursue on Adam Debrecki. Debrecki sends it back around the net the other way for Jante Venos. Venos has Plotnikov. Plotnikov sees Debrecki in the middle. Debrecki works his way in, puts a shot on Cameron Miller. Not there, but does get his own rebound. Debrecki gets it to Jante Venos. Venos back to Debrecki on the backhand. Gives it to Jante Venos. Venos down to Carlson. Carlson to Mamedov. No shot there still. Carlson with an opportunity. Sends it towards the middle of the net, where it's going to be sent away eventually by Vailleux. .55 seconds left as the Rattlers get away with an errant pass there. Sergei Serev now. David Majorsic, Carlson, Plotnikov all out there. Venos still on the back end. Last minute of play here in the second period. 40 seconds left in the power play. Venos, Carlson. Carlson sends it towards the net, blocked by Parody. Venos towards the net, just wide. Carlson comes away with the rebound. Sends it back down low to Mikhail Plotnikov. Plotnikov to Jante Venos. Carlson now handling it at the top of the dot. And that's going to go right into the chest of Cameron Miller. Majorsic now on the draw. Serev, Orahov, Boravsky, Plotnikov, Bolikov all on the ice. Boravsky goes towards the net with possession. Gives it to Serev. Serev towards Roman Orahov, who's already got a goal in this period. Boravsky finds a rebound on that errant shot by Orahov. Serev to Boravsky. Boravsky now leaves it for Serev. Serev with an opportunity. Looks it off. Sends it towards the net. Loose puck. Majorsic now. The puck is still loose. And Tij Frazee sends it all the way the length of the ice. Will be an icing call with that power play by the Rattlers expiring. 5-3 is the score here for the Tottenham Railers in Bradford. Frazee and Carlson. Carlson comes up with it and sends it towards the net. Clock is not running. And that'll be the end of the second period. The Railers currently up 5-3, scoring 5 goals to the Rattlers 1 in that second period. Dominant play by the Rattlers. Rattlers going to look for another comeback win against the Tottenham Railers, much like they did in the first home matchup the Rattlers had. as we come back for the third period here, we have Royer going up against Debrecki. On the draw, the line of Debrecki, Bolotov, and Plotnikov now. Bolotov with a shot in front. Miller falls down. Looks like he's okay. Waited a second just to make sure. As Frazee and Debrecki go into the corner together, attempting to gain possession of the puck. Debrecki sends it the other way where Frazee will have a play on it. Debrecki eventually sends it up the half wall where Royer's waiting, sends it towards Frazee and Vailleux. Jante Venas clears that out, and eventually the puck goes all the way down. Looked like it was an errant pass from Royer, so no icing. Miller sends it back up that same side wall. Lavoie, Orahov loses his footing as well on this fresh sheet of ice. Krudikov, Serev, and Mamedov on the ice together, so you got to wonder where Isak Karlsson is in the lineup if he's not out on that first line. Bolotov taking his spot. Radchenko gloves that and goes for a cover. Krudikov loses the draw. Belayev with a shot attempt, but unable to put it towards the net. Serev now gets bodied on the wall by Belayev. Serev comes away with possession. There's going to be a call on a hand pass here, though. So no change. And the story of this period now becomes, where is Isak Karlsson? The rest of his teammates going to play hard trying for a win, but the MVP of the league not on the bench or in the lineup as of right this second now. Roman Orahov leaves it for Caleb Siran. Siran gives it back to Orahov. Mamedov is going to loop around, look for that stretch pass. Siran has an opportunity, but gives it right to Belayev. Belayev has Lavoie down low, goes in to help him out as they attempt to get possession. Puck comes towards Radchenko, who covers that one up. Jante Venas and Dominikas Boravsky come back out on the ice now. 18 minutes left here in this third period. Shot by Parody is going to be blocked by Frazee. Parody, who had the hardest shot at last year's competition in the All-Star game. Radchenko reaches up and comes away with a save there. Great shot opportunity in the middle. Parody's now apologizing to Frazee, saying, sorry I hit you with the hardest shot in the league. Debrecki on the draw now. Bolotov and Plotnikov with him. Vanos sends it to Bolotov. Bolotov unable to handle it cleanly. Leads to a Tottenham opportunity that Radchenko sends away. Debrecki, Plotnikov, and Bolotov now. Plotnikov sends it, gets it from Debrecki, sends it to the middle of the net. Debrecki unable to finish there as Tottenham sends it the length of the ice. No icing. Radchenko touches it up anyways. Boravsky around the net to Venos. Venos tries to go back to Boravsky. Bolotov's going to have to come in and help clean that up. Venos out of the zone to Bolotov. Bolotov and Plotnikov both there. Plotnikov now with space. And a goal. Looked like Stepan Bolotov finished that off after Cameron Miller made the initial save. Bolotov leading that line. Plotnikov with a great leave on the goal line. Bolotov just had to go in and smash it in as the Rattlers climb back to within one. Mamedov back on the ice now. Wins the draw back. Cy ran to Seitz. Seraph leaves it in the middle where nobody is. Seitz now plays it behind the net. Sends it all the way down where Mamedov has a play on it on the wing. Mamedov still handling it. Sends it towards Krudikov. Nobody comes up with it. Neutral zone play comes to Heward. Heward sends it deep. Seitz has his pocket picked. Heward sends it towards Jobin. No shot there. Mamedov loses possession, but Seitz cleans it up. And Heward is down on the ice. He is getting up. As Sergei Serov attempts to gain the zone. No call there as he fell. Seitz to Oliver Koch. Koch now towards the net. Pad save there. And that's coming right into the fans. A couple of fans lifted up their feet there to make sure they weren't hit by the puck. And we do have an update on the Carlson situation. He will not be returning to the game with a upper body injury. So the Rattlers attempting to complete the comeback without their captain and leading scorer. Other guys on the team are more than capable of stepping up in this game now. As Berezin pressures in on Parody. Parody sends it back towards the corner where Mizigov has a play on it. Oliver Koch eventually sends it towards the back of the net. Riviere was in on there on the wall. Jobin unable to handle it, so Ovakimyan's going to come all the way back on this icing call. Brecky on the draw now against Jib. Wins it to Plotnikov, who attempts to get a shot, but it's blocked by Jobin. Renos now with a shot opportunity. Loose in front of the net after the save by Miller. Boravsky unable to hold the line, so they'll regroup. Venos in the neutral zone sends it back to Boravsky. Up to this wing. Plotnikov going to gain the zone. He's got Debrecki right behind him. Plotnikov sealed out into the boards. Plotnikov's down holding his face. And we do need a trainer on the ice. As trainer Dave heads towards a down Mikhail Plotnikov. Plotnikov takes off his helmet and his gloves. Both trainers now on the ice. Trainer Dave being joined by the Railers trainer. Plotnikov immediately with a towel to his face. I'm not sure if it's his teeth or if it's his nose, but he is standing. And there's some blood on the ice that the referees are going to have to take care of underneath the glove side dot in the Tottenham Railers zone. 15 minutes left here in this game. Two of the Rattlers' 4 leading scorers, Plotnikov and Carlson, have both now left with upper body injuries. Venos hits Boravsky. Venos now looking to gain some speed and get the zone himself, and he does. Puts it towards Holander. Holander to Boravsky. Boravsky sends it towards the net where it's blocked away by Cameron Miller. Krudikov tries to play it on the wall, but the Railers come away with it. Frazee to Royer. Royer has Vailleur with him. And a block shot there by Jonathan Venos goes into the netting. And the Railers now in on the zone. As the Rattlers attempt to make some offense happen, Samarovsky on Jiv now. Samarovsky looking to hold the offensive zone possession, but unable to. Mizagov now. Shot blocked by Oliver Koch by Yenry Jib. Samarovsky gives it back to Roman Orahov. Orahov has Seitz with him and gives him the puck. Seitz looks to turn it up the ice. Offensive zone opportunity here. Has a great chance and a goal for the Tottenham Railers to go up 6-4 in this one with 13:30 left. Debrecki now on the draw. He's got Mamedov on his wing with Bolotov with him. So a newly assembled top line now for the Rattlers. Debrecki, Mamedov, and Bolotov. Debrecki forces a turnover. But the Railers now coming the other way with speed. As Belayev with a nice spin move but loses the puck. Boravsky plays it behind the net. Mamedov loses it on the half wall. Jib with possession now in the corner. Jib sends it towards the front to Lavoie. Bolotov now looking to gain the zone. He's got Mamedov with him. He's got Debrecki with him. Debrecki was looking to fill that lane on the far side. Instead, there's a turnover. Boravsky now sends it up towards Debrecki. Mamedov holds the line. Rattlers down by 2 with 12:41 left in the third. Debrecki sends it deep. He will probably look to go off for a change as Sarev and Holander come out on the ice. Siran and Seitz, 4 and 2 out on the ice. Shot towards Radchenko. Radchenko plays it back from the same wall. Sarev now, and Radchenko gets hit. Krudikov has something to say about that. Not sure what's going to be happening here. Might be a goalie interference call on the hit on Radchenko behind the net. So Heward will go to the box for 2 minutes, sending the Rattlers to a power play that will have to be reassembled by Coach David Mooney now. Debrecki, Sarev, Mamedov, Boravsky, and Venos. So Sarev and Boravsky jumping up to this power play 1 with Blotnikov and Carlson out. Boravsky holds the line. Venos sends it towards the net. Into the chest of Cameron Miller. Mamedov loses this draw, but the puck does come back towards Dominikas Boravsky, who works his way into the middle. He's going to walk and pass it off to Adam Debrecki. Debrecki back to Boravsky. Boravsky has Mamedov in the middle. Far side Venos. Venos back to Boravsky, who takes a second, gets it to Debrecki. Debrecki going to work his way into the middle now. Leaves it for Boravsky, who comes down low and gains possession. Great play there by Alexei Parody. Try and force the turnover. Boravsky doesn't have control of his stick. And the puck will be called dead. .119 remaining in this Bradford Rattlers power play. Oliver Koch on the draw, 1 back. And St. Laurent sends it all the way down the ice to stop that offensive opportunity. Oliver Koch now with Bolotov on the far side. Holander streaking in. Orahov just beside him. Makes a pass, and Orahov unable to hold that line. Henry Jip now with possession on the wall. Sends it back down as they look to take more time off of this power play. Orahov finds it in the neutral zone. He's going to look to regroup with 42 seconds remaining on this power play opportunity. Bolotov gains the zone, but immediately has the puck picked from him. So the Rattlers are going to regroup once again with Orahov and Ovakimian. Arseni being pressured tight by number 9 Henry Jib. And Koch with a turnover there. Opportunity now. And a wide open net, but nobody in front for the pass from Frazee. And Berezin and Somorovsky combine for an offside. Krudikov wins the draw. Plays it on the wall, takes a hit from Parody, but maintains possession. Krudikov now sends it towards the middle where nobody's waiting. Somorovsky forces a turnover, and he's going to look to play that hard on the wall. Siran jumping up now. Siran sends it towards the wall. No play there. As Berezin comes back, forces a turnover. Krudikov with Berezin there. Berezin loses the puck. Royer has the puck go just ahead of him. Siran plays it up to Vadim Berezin. Berezin once again gains the zone. Berezin has options, chooses Seitz. Seitz loses possession, is going to have to come back and play defense on Henry Jib. Jib with a pass towards the middle on the backhand, going to get intercepted. Lack of manpower and some tired guys on the ice for the Bradford Rattlers now. For both teams, 3 games in 3 days is no joke. Krudikov just touches it up now, and the Rattlers will finally get a change. Jonte Venos comes all the way onto the other side to play defense. St. Laurent comes in, puts a puck high of Nikita Radchenko. Belayev puts it towards the net. It's in front loose. Doyle holds the line. Doyle puts one towards the net. But a block by the stick of Serev is going to send the puck into the netting, and we'll have an offensive zone draw for the Tottenham Railers. Draw one by Adam Debrecki. Mamedov attempts to get it out of the zone, but unable to as Belayev intercepts the pass. This time Debrecki intercepts the pass, and he's going to look to come the other way off the skates of Jib. Venos puts it to the middle for Mamedov. Mamedov gains the zone. He's got Venos behind him. Serev in the middle. Tries to get to Serev. Unable to. Picked off by Jib. Borabsky gives it to Venos. Venos has Debrecki all alone in the neutral zone. Debrecki hits Serev. Serev gains the zone. Comes in. Works his way to the middle. No shot. As the Railers send it all the way down the length of the ice. That's going to be icing. 8 minutes left in this one in the third period. Sends it around. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Looked like it could have been touched by a player on the bench. Tottenham clears the zone. It's going to be played by Arsenio Vakimian over to Roman Orahov. Orahov tries to get it to the middle. Eventually Mega Mizigov comes up with it. Gets it to Philip Holander. Loose puck corralled by Alexei Parody. Playing hard on the wall are Mega Mizigov and Alexei Parody. Holander also in there, attempted to force a turnover on Parody. Unable to. Rivere sends it up to the middle. Vailleux was streaking, but Frazee unable to get the puck all the way over to him. As Vailleux stops behind the net and sends it off of the corner. Down the ice, Roman Orahov's going to glove that and put it back down on the ice here. Intercepted by Arsenio Vakimian. A nice reverse hit there. Krudikov with an opportunity, saved by Cameron Miller. Tej Frazee sends it the length of the ice, being pursued by Jobin, but Frazee's going to go off for a change. Doyle has it in the neutral zone now. Bears in on him. Radchenko slows it down for Arsenio Vakimian, who throws a good reverse hit and maintains possession of the puck, puts it off of the wall. Krudikov now with an opportunity, and Krudikov puts it just wide. High and wide into the netting. We'll get an offensive zone face-off for the Bradford Rattlers. 6:14 left in the third period. Laurent sends it on the wall. Jonte Venos holds the line at least for a second, tries to turn his way back in. Puck comes out of the zone, so the Rattlers will have to regroup. Venos sends it deep. Debrecki's going to pressure on Doyle. Doyle gets it over to St. Laurent. St. Laurent sends it to Borabsky. Lavoie and Debrecki tied up there. Debrecki comes away with the puck. It gets sent down, where St. Laurent plays it and sends it back up towards his forward Lavoie, but Mamedov intercepts and puts it on the stick of Borabsky. Borabsky with an errant pass there gets intercepted by Jib. Jib once again loses it though. Mamedov loses it on his own entry. Cyran trying to get the puck up as Mamedov comes back. Debrecki in there with possession in the zone. Lavoie has the puck chopped away, but Jib comes away with it and puts it into the deep corner. Sykes has a play, but Belev pressuring him. Siran now. Siran leaves it for Stepan Bolotov. Just under 5 minutes left here in the third period. Samarovsky touches it up so Holander can go and get it, and does. Holander gets sealed off on the wall. Bolotov comes in and puts it back towards Philip Holander. Samarovsky in front of the net. Holander gets taken down. Samarovsky goes to pursue. Half step late though. Frazee now with possession. Sykes attempting to defend him. Vailleux on that same wall as Frazee. Puck comes in front of the net. Jib unable to get a clean shot. Sorry, that was Royer. Sykes whacks it back into the neutral zone, but Alexi Parody brings it into the net. Sykes now without a stick. Frazee loses possession, but Royer comes away with it in his feet, doesn't know where it is. Frazee with an attempted shot gets blocked by Sykes and Holander combined. Krudikov to Bolotov. Bolotov puts it off the skate of Vailleux, so no icing call. Berzin, Krudikov, Koch now all out there, trying to pursue on this Railers breakout attempt. Ovakimian slows it down, gets it to his partner. Berzin touches it up. Roman Orahov puts it back up towards Oliver Koch, who sees Ovakimian. Ovakimian steps up now, puts it deep. Krudikov loses his stick. He'll come to the bench. Debrecki goes back out on the ice. 3 minutes left in this one. Railers with a 2-goal lead currently. Orahov towards the net. Blocked in front by Koch. And now multiple players mixing it up here. On the draw now against Henry Jib. Jib wins it. Doyle puts it on the wall. Lavoie sends it nearly out of the zone. Boravsky holds it though, puts it back down low. Comes in the middle where Gabe Mamedov's waiting. Sergei Sanov puts it in the net. And with 2:49 left, the Rattlers climb within one. Great look from the slot there by Gabe Mamedov as he saw Sergei Sarov backdoor, who just taps it right past Cameron Miller, who's had a great night so far. Krudikov against Jib on this draw now. 2:27 left in the third period. Philip Holander pressuring. Krudikov comes away with it and sends it to Arseny Ovakimian, who mishandles the puck. Rattlers maintain possession though. on a mishandle by the Railers, but eventually it comes into the neutral zone. Roman Orahov puts it deep, and there's going to be a face-off in the offensive zone. Looks like somebody lost a net guard. Alexi Parody lost his net guard, so stoppage of play immediately when a net guard comes off, same as with a helmet. And no surprise here, back out on the ice is Debrecki, Mamedov, and Serev. Belayev with a play. Gets it up towards Lavoie. Lavoie with a shot on Radchenko, makes that save. We have 2 minutes left. Jonte Wenis now playing it. He's got Roman Orahov with him. Mamedov now works his way into the zone. He's got Serev. He's got Debrecki with him. Debrecki now puts it just high of the net. Mamedov finds the rebound and sends it towards Roman Orahov at the blue line. Bolotov sends it back deep where Mamedov has possession. 1:15 left in this one. Netminder is out for the Bradford Rattlers. We have an empty cage. Jonte Venas sends it towards the net. Jonte Venas to step on Bolotov, and that's going to be a turnover. Vaya now with an opportunity to seal it. Puts it just deep. No empty net goal there. Mamedov now controls it behind the net. 47 seconds left. Debrecki with speed coming through the zone. Leaves it for Sergei Serev. That is an offside call. And the Rattlers are going to take a timeout. 40 seconds left in this one. The last time these two teams played, the Rattlers did get a goal with 2 seconds left. They'd love to have that happen now, because that would mean a tie game and some overtime coming. And so the 6 on the ice will be Bolotov, Mamedov, Serev, Debrecki, Boravsky, and Jonte Venas. Puck is dropped, Debrecki wins it, Mamedov back to Venas. Boravsky now sends it deep where Mamedov's going to be shrieking. He has Debrecki as an option. He's got Venas as an option. He sends it back down low. Debrecki up to Boravsky. 25 seconds left in this one. Boravsky towards the net. And nearly tipped in by Sergei Serev. Mamedov finds possession once more. Alexi Parody's attempting to cover the puck. Bolotov sends it towards the net. That's going to be saved by Cameron Miller. Boravsky puts it towards the net again. 8 seconds left in this one. Jonte Venas and Boravsky unable to get back with enough time. And so the Tottenham Rattlers will win their 3rd game in a row in 3 days. Rattlers fall just short on the 3rd game in a 3-on-3, dropping this one 6-5. The story in this game is going to be whether or not we see Isak Karlsson and Mikhail Plotnikov back into the lineup as early as next Saturday. A lot of time to heal any injuries that are there, but we have 5 days before they are on the road next Saturday against the North York Renegades. They say that every season's a story, ladies and gentlemen. My name is JR, and for the Bradford Rattlers, we close the chapter on this one.